Your content consistency isn't your problem. It's your understanding of what consistency actually means as a small business owner. Consistency is only as good as the foundation you are trying to build sustainably on top of. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand the myths about content consistency that are holding you back, and actually learning what's involved in building a sustainable content ecosystem for your business. And a lot of these might surprise you because they seem unrelated to consistency, but yet they are almost the driver of it every single time. So the number one myth is you don't need to be good at time management to stay consistent with your content. This is probably the most obvious point, but I know that some people definitely need to hear it. Your time is your greatest leverage when it comes to building a more freedom-driven lifestyle for you as a small business owner. It seems backwards, but you actually have to be really good at time management in order to make more time for yourself. This means that you have to have boundaries, and a lot of us don't like having boundaries, but this means things like time blocking, saying no, prioritizing the things that are actually going to get you further to your goal versus doing the same thing and thinking that you are going to gain more time by doing more, by serving more, and by providing more value. If you don't have a goal for your time, you don't have an ideal schedule, or you don't really know where you're heading when it comes to time management, you are most likely going to get trapped in a cycle of continuing to do the same thing and eventually find yourself doing way more of it than you ever wanted to. Prioritizing would look like prioritizing the things that actually make you money as a small business. So if you are a small business candle maker, your priority would be making candles, and everything else should be working around that. We are not creating content first and then prioritizing making candles. In 2020, when I started my wellness business, I was actually creating products like coffee eyebrow tint and rosemary hair oil, and I found that I was just creating content way more than I was doing the actual business, the act of creating more products. There were a few things that were holding me back, but one big thing was time management. I genuinely didn't know what was more important, and it makes sense that these days I'm creating content because I came from a marketing background, so it only makes sense that I would prioritize marketing and prioritize my business process equally. But the thing is burnout actually comes from many different things. It doesn't only come from doing way more than you're supposed to, or saying yes to way more things than you're supposed to. It comes from doing the same thing over and over again without a clear, concise goal and endpoint. If you feel overwhelmed now and you don't have time management skills, and all you know is you want to grow as a business, guess where that's going to bring you? It's going to bring you to burnout. And purely because you didn't have the boundary, the knowledge, and the skills to manage your time effectively. Myth number 2, you don't need an offer to stay consistent with your content. Now, when I say offer, I don't actually mean something that is a product or a service. Your offer to your online community, which essentially is what content creation is, should be something that is moving towards your goal in some way. So if you want to grow your community, a good goal for your offer could be to grow your email list. And what does that look like in an offer? Your offer could be the email list itself, meaning your emails are driving value in some way. Maybe you have a theme for your emails and you send out one per week and it gives your email subscribers something of value. That is an offer. Or it could be tools and resources and even checklists that act as a lead magnet that in turn grow your email list when you offer it to them through your content. Now, if your content has no return on time investment, right? That is really what we're talking about here. Your time is what you're investing into content. And when you have nothing that is coming from that time, you will inevitably end up prioritizing other aspects of your business. And you can basically say goodbye to consistent content. So if you're having trouble coming up with your idea for an offer, think about the initial reason you wanted to be on social media when social media became extremely popular for all businesses to be on. Did you want to showcase your products more? Did you want to show more about your lifestyle as an owner? Did you want to teach people? There are many reasons and many motivations that people come online. Even if you think surface level, you're just there because everyone else is there. You actually do have a reason for being online and having the motivation to create content. And when you think about that deeply, you can gain a little bit more clarity into what offer you actually want to provide to your online community. Myth number 3, you don't need to implement sustainability systems in order to stay consistent with your content. So say you are the opposite, or your belief system is the opposite of the past 2 myths, meaning you know how to manage your time and you have an offer. And say you're actually making income from your online offer. You're eventually going to want to delegate certain tasks that assist in making sales online. Whether it's somebody managing your content that is getting you the sales, or it's somebody managing the automation, the systems, or it's automation itself. So if you don't delegate or you don't put any form of automation, which is exactly what I mean by sustainability system, in place, this will take time away from you that you could eventually use more of with doing things that you love, like your business, or having free time, or traveling, or whatever it is that you want to be living. So what does a sustainability system look like? This has a lot to do with 2 major aspects of content, which is the creation piece and the strategy piece. Your strategy sustainability will have to do a lot with automation and how it's all integrated into, for lack of a better word, your funnel. If your offer has to do with growing your email list and you want to use social media as one of the first places that people find you, your Instagram or your platform of choice has to drive people to a certain thing that is eventually going to get them on an email list. Or ideally not eventually and immediately from Instagram to your email list. The easiest way to do this is from what I just mentioned, which is a lead magnet, something of value in exchange for their email. So it could be a checklist, it could be a tool, it could be something you've created that you've been using for 5 years and it just continues to serve you. So that is more of the strategy side. You want to make sure you have the goal first, you have the offer that is in alignment with the goal, and you are actively driving people through a strategy that has to do with your offer and your goal. Now, when it comes to a sustainability system that has to do more with the act of creating, this also exists, and this also needs to be implemented in order for you to feel like you're not still spending all of your time creating content. Even when you have a strategy and you have automated systems that have to do with your strategy and your goal, that doesn't mean that creating the content, the actual act of creating content, is going to be easier. So the systems that are involved in that have to do a lot with templates, ChatGPT with copywriting, whether you use stock media or you use your own media that you've gotten produced by a photographer or a videographer. There are so many ways that you can set up this system in the back end that helps you create way quicker, and that's really all I mean by sustainability system when it comes to the creation side. We want it to be optimized for time so that you don't feel like you're taking too much time in creation. And of course, the automation is what helps you with the strategy sustainability. There is a tool that I've created that somewhat meets both of these system themes, as in strategy and the creation piece, kind of meets them in the middle. And it is my social media content calendar bundle. It includes 3 forms of a content calendar for social media, or it could also be used for your long form content. There are 3 options included: Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. I created 3 different types of content calendars so that you can decide which one works best for you. So not only will this calendar help you organize and streamline your content creation process, meaning you'll have a place to see what day a certain post is going to go out. You can create right in these templates, but it can also be one of the mechanisms that you put on top of your strategy. You might know that your social media is going to drive your email opt-ins, and therefore you need a place to organize your posts so that they are consistent and they are always going to be posted on the days so that you are sticking to your strategy and you are following your consistency. So if you want these 3 templates for yourself to organize your social media content or your long form content, click the link below and you can get that sent straight to your email. Now, if you feel like you're in a good place with keeping your content organized in the back end, you feel like it all makes sense to you, but you're now concerned about making your creation time much faster, watch this video next to learn exactly how I create authentic copy with AI that sounds just like you, sometimes even more like you than you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.